What's up? It's Keith Kelfis. So, if you got your landscaping and lawn care business, maybe you're just getting started, or you've been in the business for 10 years and you're looking for an awesome software platform to use. I've been using Jobber software for over 4 years. I love it. I couldn't imagine running my business without Jobber. And now, not only does the billing, the invoicing, automatic payment collection, it follows up with the customers. It's a CRM, a customer relationship management software platform that streamlines your entire business. And today with me, I have Ethan on the call from Jobber directly. He's in Canada and he's a sales specialist. He knows Jobber inside and out. I actually had the opportunity to meet him at the Equip Expo in 2023. We did a Jobber software walkthrough, and a lot of people have questions like, hey, I want to try Jobber. I want to, try it out and see if it works in my business. And the cool thing is you can get a totally free 2-week trial at getjobber.com/Kelfis and a huge discount with my exclusive link. And then you can get on the call with a product specialist. They'll walk you through, they'll literally hold your hand, get you onboarded so you can use this thing not only on a laptop or in the office, but out in the field, on your phone, on a mobile device, on a tablet. It's really easy. When I'm ready to do billing for my customers or send an invoice, I could literally just sit in my truck, like while my guys are out there working, and just boom, 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 pump out thousands of dollars of invoices, and it collects money automatically. The customers also can leave tips on Jobber. So I'm really excited that Ethan is here to help walk you through, and I'm going to let him take the floor in a second here. And bro, let's just get right into it. For anybody who has a question of how to use this awesome software in their business, what's up, Ethan?
Thank you so much, Keith. Yeah, it's like you said, my name is Ethan. I've been with Jobber for about 6 years. I am a sales specialist. I'm a product expert here as well. And I've been selling Jobber, like I said, for the last 6 years. So thanks for joining me, man. Or thanks for letting me join you. We had a great time at Equip Expo last year. So what do you think? You want to just get into it? Take a look at Jobber? Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. All right. So everybody, I'm going to start with a really basic question. Everyone here, I assume, knows that running a small business is hard. Jobber makes it easy. That's everything that we're trying to do here. Everything from acquiring customers, quoting your customers, scheduling the work, and of course, like Keith said, getting paid and sending out invoices nice and easily. My whole game here is to make your business as easy or run as smoothly as possible. So you should be seeing my home screen. I'll bring that up here, Keith. Jobber is a 4-step workflow. We start with a request, we move to a quote, we move to a job, and of course, we get to the invoice. So we're going to start with the request and the quoting side here first. Now, first impressions matter. Hopefully, I've made a good one with everybody here today. Now, when your customers first start Googling, first start looking for your service out there, we want to make sure that we give them a frictionless way to find your business. So let's actually go into a fake website to get started. I'm going to use lawn care here because I assume that's where most people are at. And you're going to start with 2 options for your customers, either book online or request a quote. Book online is really straightforward. That's where someone actually just books directly into your calendar. You don't actually have to do a quote. Your pricing's available to them, and then they can just book directly in. You see it in your calendar. You go do the work and get paid. I would say the majority of the time, most of your customers are going to be looking for a way to request a quote because they want to agree to something ahead of time. So the request feature is great. I've got a website here, but this is going to exist on your Facebook page, your Instagram, your Google local home service ads. And it really is just a form to capture that customer information right from the get-go. So name, address, what types of services are you looking for? Let's make it as easy as possible for your customers to get in touch with you. And something we've added recently is the ability for them to upload files. This has been a big request from a lot of our customers. They can now upload a photo of the job that they're looking to get done, and you'll get a better idea of what to expect when you're showing up.
Ooh, that's awesome. Real quick for clarity. So yeah, a piece of code or a snippet or embed code that somebody can take who enrolls with Jobber on your website, your pre-existing website, your website. You could take this piece of code and just put it in your website, and then boom, a link to submit a request. Now you have it, because I did this, and we have customers. A new request has come in from Mrs. Jones in my city, and they go right through the website, and it shows up on Jobber. That's a new lead.
100%. Yeah, couldn't be easier to put it on your website. You don't need to be a master programmer or anything like that. If you're a little shy with it, do not worry. We've got a product coaching team that can walk you through those steps too, but couldn't be easier. So new request comes in, I get notified right away. And then I can actually just go in and see what that customer is needing from me. So here's what a request will look like on your side. I've got Patrick Sutherland here. He's looking for some cleaning to be done around the property. And this is where I can start adding my own notes and attachments too. So for my lawn care guys, if you're ever taking aerial photos of the lawn itself, if you're doing like square footage through satellite imagery on Google, or there is sort of one lawn, which is an integration with Jobber, you can include that photo on here and you can start that quoting process with some additional information for yourself. And that's all it is. So your options here are to either move it to a quote, or you can schedule that assessment into your calendar. So that's when you're actually going in person to talk to the customer, which I encourage everyone to do. That is always a great way to increase the dollar values of your quote if you actually do that expert walkthrough with your customer. Now, the quoting tool is my favorite part of Jobber. It could not be easier. It cannot be a better way to present your services. It cannot be, a better way to ensure that you're remaining profitable on your jobs. But here's an example of what a quote can look like through Jobber. Now, normally I would ask the audience, what are you guys seeing on here that really jumps out at you? But the answer I always get is the photos on the line item. So you can have stock photos when you first upload your products and services, or if you are adding photos during the quoting process, you can include them right on the line item. So this creates that presentation. And more often than not, your customers will agree to a quote that has a nicer presentation like this. So we are seeing.
Wait, I didn't even know that you could do this. When was this added?
The photos and the line items? Ooh,
yeah.
It's been a bit. We should probably call you and get you upgraded, but it is available on our top tier plan here. But these are great. And what's really nice about this, Keith, is like we see just like through internal data that over half the time, or you're going to increase your win rates on your quote just by having photos in the line item more often than the quotes in Jobber that doesn't have photos in the line item. So if you want to win more work, this is one easy way to do it. Now, the other thing that I really love about this is the optional line items. So this is the ability for you to include not just what you first talked to the customer about, but also all those additional services. So if you're a person who does good, better, best quoting, or if you are selling a landscaping job and then want to sell the maintenance package that goes along with it, include those optional line items. Your customers don't know all your services unless you present them to it. So this, again, 51% of the time, someone is clicking on an optional line item. So you can think about how many dollars you can start including when you're winning more work onto those quotes. So I want you to make more money. This is just, again, a nice, easy way of doing that. Now, it's one thing to sell a job. I want to make sure you're being profitable too. So right from the get-go on our quoting system, you can include the cost, the markup, and the unit price of this. So 30%.
We just did a job for $9,430, and I added the options inside of Jobber for the customer, and hey, do you want us to bouquet and elevate all the bottoms of the trees? What about this? What about this? What about this? And the customers went ahead. It was probably like $4,500 worth of work, and they went ahead. They're like, we want all this done. Just go ahead and do it all because we added it. So I was like, dude, this is packages and add-ons and upsells. So when you offer more things that quote unquote need attention, it's like, why not make that offer? Bro.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. Like you go out and your customers will pick it. I mean, I've been in sales a very long time, and asking people for additional money sometimes feels awkward and you don't want to do it. But this gives you the opportunity to put it in the customer's hand, let them select it, let them pick it. And then that way they feel really good about their choice. So it makes sales easy. I wish I could do this at Jobber, but yeah, like I said, so also making sure that you're profitable. There are costs associated with your materials and your labor and everything like that. Make sure you've got your 30, 40, 50% markup on there. That way, when you are quoting, you can rest assured that, yes, I am going to turn a profit on this job just because I've set it up ahead of time. So that's all nice and saved. Towards the bottom, the financial details of the quote. Are you going to put a discount on? What your tax rates are going to be for the work, and of course, require any deposits. So not only are we going to help you get paid at the invoicing level, but on the quote itself, you can make sure you've turned on credit card payments or bank transfers and take that deposit up front. So you've got part of the funds for the job to buy the materials, and you got like a back date or anything like that. So make sure that's included. Start the job right. And of course, taking that deposit will ensure that, you're not going to lose that job for any reason. That customer is then committed. Now, like I said, we can all be really great salespeople. Hopefully we're landing most of these jobs in person for the first time, but customers like to take their time and think about things, and they're probably trying out other quotes. They are talking to your competitors and everything. So I want to give you the best leg up possible. So not only we're going to add the line item photos, we're going to give the best presentation possible. I'm also going to do the follow-up for you as well. So the profits in the follow-up, that's an old sales term, but you'll let Jobber automatically follow up with any quotes that are awaiting response, text or an email. That way it's going to go out, and you can rest assured that you don't have to spend the day chasing down these customers. Let Jobber do that automatically for you. Keith, have you ever used this?
Actually, it can follow up with the customers over and over and over. And also, if they don't pay their bill, it can keep following up with them.
Absolutely.
One time I forgot to close a bill out. We were so busy. And the customer's like, hey, I already paid this. Why are you sending me this? I was like, oh, wait a second. Let me go in there. And I was like, all right, you're all set. I just forgot to close it out because they paid by check, like on the spot.
I see.
And then they're like, well, while you're at it, can we call you out to do some more work? So
no kid. Oh, that's so, yeah. I mean, your invoice follow-up's getting you more work. I hadn't even thought about that. That's perfect.
Dog.
There you go. Excellent. So once that's done, so that customer, they are going to normally interact with this quote through something called a client hub. So this is your customer portal. This is a 24/7 servicing to your customers. They can log into this anytime. This is where they're going to have that first interaction with you and approve the quote, request any changes if it's necessary, and kind of read your terms of service and everything like that. What I also really like about the client hub is they can see the upcoming appointments. Now, Keith has alluded to the fact that we do send out reminders ahead of the appointments no matter what. But, if it's kind of a couple of weeks away or it's kind of a bigger job, they can see when to expect you to come by. And if they click into these appointments, they can actually see the photos of whoever's actually be doing the job, which is really important these days. A lot of people want to know who's coming to their property.
Bro, I didn't know that you could do that too.
The appointments.
So you could put a photo of. Can you put a little blurb about whoever the employee that's going to show up? Or is it just a photo?
It's definitely a photo and their name for sure. I don't know if there's going to be a blurb on there. I haven't tested that myself, but they can absolutely see who.
That's still good. You could do employee photos. Just have them put on the company hat and shirt and just stand there and smile. And because there's I won't say the name of the program, but there's a program for when you go on people's properties.
Yeah,
it's like a badge of approval, kind of like a. That you notify the customers, hey, I don't know, Mike Jones is going to be that was an old funny rap song. He's going to be showing up on your property today. He's been with the company for 7 years. He knows exactly what to do. And then it's like that extra step of trust for even for those higher profile clients.
100%.
We do a lot of window cleaning. We do landscaping and window cleaning. We have like attorneys and doctors and lawyers and people with these high profile multi-million-dollar homes that want a licensed and insured professional in their home. So we're really locked in with these customers, and we've been serving them for years and those are also the same customers that like, no, we don't want you to take social media videos on our property. But at the same time, it's like a $1,200-$1,500 average ticket when we show up and do the window cleaning and soft washing and things like this. So yeah, dog.
Yeah, man, it's great. I mean, your customers is going to trust you. And that's, I mean, especially for the folks who are doing like ongoing service. I mean, that easy use and that trust is going to make sure that your customers are staying with you for a long term. So the retention value here is huge, right? So they don't want to switch anything. It's going to be more difficult to work with people. So, all right. So that's the quote. Once we get it approved, we get the deposit and all that stuff, we're going to move on to the fun stuff, the actual scheduling side. So I got a couple of ways for you to look at your calendar. Here's a very basic weekly view that you can take a look at. Clicking into the job itself will give you the details of the work. This allows you to make any modifications on the fly. If the customer adds new services while you're doing the work, you'll be able to update notes and photos on this. A really great communication between the office and the field. So no one's calling the office and asking, what am I supposed to do on this job? They've got the notes and everything available to them there. And then I also include job forms. So these are more like checklists. So if you've got a job that you do all the time, Keith, you're talking about like window cleaning, there's probably, 5, 10, 15 steps you need to do to close a window cleaning job off. Those checklists are going to be available in the field for you guys to fill out. And we will notify the employee before they close a job that they haven't filled a form out. That way you can make sure that the quality of work is going to be done on every job.
I promised myself I wouldn't be interjecting, and I want you to
No,
do
you're
your whole
good.
thing.
You're good.
But this is gold because this is what we study. This is what we talk about. When you hear someone say put systems into your business, this right
Yeah.
here isn't a standard operating procedure checklist built
Hmm.
directly inside of Jobber. So the employee who's got it on their phone or their company supplied phone, they can go on and they can say, so you don't have to ask them over, hey, did you blow out? Did you clean out the garden beds? Did you do this when you cut the grass? Did you make sure you blow down the stoop in the basement windows and
Yeah.
blew off the cobwebs and did the
Yeah.
extra walk around of that? Check, check, check? Did you
Yeah.
do all these things at the end of? Sorry. So you get it. So when there's a checklist and they've
Yeah.
checked it, that's them saying yes, I did this thing.
Yeah.
So that's a it's an extra step of accountability. All right.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And these can be like generic, or my customers are creating specific ones for especially those high end clients they're working for that might have some extra jobs we need to make sure are done. If you're a cleaning business, these are used all the time because a kitchen clean requires a certain amount of things. So this is exactly what that's for. And if your customer ever calls you back and says, "Hey, I wasn't quite stoked on this," or I think something was missed, you can go back to the job form and make sure that that's been checked off and everything like that. So yeah, standard operating procedures, everyone's on the same page. Now, one last thing I do want to show is, especially if it's a bigger project, profitability of the job is also going to be really important, especially whether it's for a one-off project or a recurring job. Jobber does include something called job costing, and that's a way to ensure that you've got profit on a job as well. So I can see the past 30-day profitability of a particular job that I'm doing. So far, I've collected 20 grand in revenue. I haven't actually added any labor or line items here yet. But what's really nice, if I go into my time tracking here, my labor entries, it will automatically update, how many hours I've worked on a job. So I'm going to put in myself. I get paid $150 an hour. I'm a really great worker. And I save that time entry. It's going to update the labor costs of the job as well. Now, you're not doing this manually. Through the mobile app that Jobber has, your employees will be clocking in and out in the field when they approach a job. And that can also be turned on automatically, where if they are in the location of the job, it's GPS tracked and it'll clock them in and out automatically for you. So the idea here is if I'm doing a job and I'm out there doing the work, it's going to actually minus the labor cost of the job. And that way you are knowing how much profit you're still making on the job. And if it's a longer project, how close you're getting to it being too long of a project or anything like that. So we talked about your line item costs and the quoting, but I'm also going to ensure profitability through the length of the project or through the length of your recurring work for a customer. And you're going to know exactly how much you should be making off these jobs. And that's going to help you in the future to quote a little bit better. And just, again, make sure your bottom line is always in the positive there. So that's how you manage the work. Now, the one last thing I want to show about scheduling here is the map view. So my lawn care fellows, or anybody who's doing multiple jobs in a day, don't waste your time driving all over town. Gas is too expensive. Your time is valuable. Make sure that you are being as efficient as possible with your routes. This is a really silly looking route. I should not be driving to this job, and then back to this job. So I'm going to choose where I want to start. I'm going to hit route from here. And the Jobber is going to say, do your jobs in this order. It's the most efficient way to do your day. And that way, if you've got consistent routes, you know that you're going to be able to save time. The best thing I hear is that a 15 visit day can turn into a 20 visit day just by saving time on the driving there. You like this case, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I also like this because it's going to show you like unscheduled work as well. So if you're going to be in the area and you've got to do like an in-person assessment, there will be like red dots like this that'll show you that this hasn't been scheduled, hasn't been assigned to anybody. So whenever I'm over doing this job here, I should schedule this on the same day. That way I can, be in the right area to do whatever task is available.
See, this is leveraged software and systems in 2024, 2025 and beyond. You have to do this if you want to remain competitive and make profits. And why would you not do this? So thinking about it is like, oh, I don't have time to do that stuff because I'm so busy running my business. And it's not like you have to just learn all this and do all of it overnight. It's something that you keep leaning into and easing into. And then after a year or two, you're like, oh, we've had this business with all these minimum viable systems. And that's how you're getting 30-40% more profit margin and more efficiency. And then you make more money, you can afford to give your employees bonuses or pay them more. You can,
Mhm.
there's all types of amazing things you can do. This is so awesome.
I love it. Yeah, saving time. It's the funniest thing. Most people I talk to is they're very worried about making more money a lot of the times, and then trying to convince someone about the time savings is always a little bit more difficult because it just kind of see it as a cost. But when you get your time back, I mean, that's you not having to pay yourself. That's you being able to grow the business, not work in the business, just work on it. So I love this. The time saving is something I have a conversation about more often than not. Excellent. So, one last part of the job. Now, when you mark a job as complete, it's time to invoice. So, any job, if you're going to invoice right at the end of the job, when you are out in the field, you mark a job as complete, you'll be able to send the invoice directly to the client or collect payment in person through jobber payments. Otherwise, if you're going to be invoicing a batch of invoices at the end of the day or at the end of the week, end of the month, you'll be able to see on your main screen your requires invoicing. Those are all the jobs that are marked as complete. And I can just create all these invoices at once and send them all out. Now, if you really want to have this purely automated, if you have jobber payments turned on in your account, you can automatically collect payment. Just like any other subscription out there, your customers can have a lawn care subscription. So on the 31st of every month or the last day of the month, you will charge every credit card that you have on file for customers that have turned that on, or for you who have turned it on. And then you really only need to deal with the customers who credit cards don't go through. So this is how quick I'm going to make it. First and foremost, you can create and send an invoice in person on the job site, or you can send a batch of invoices at the end of the week or the end of the month all together and let your customers pay through that client hub we talked about before. Or you can just automatically charge all the cards you have on file. That's the easiest way for everybody. All the money's coming into your account. Cash flow is looking really good. And yeah, like I said, you just guaranteed that money, really. You like that too, Keith? Hey, I love automatic payments. I think it's the easiest way for any business to operate.
Very smart. Yep. I was talking to someone with a very futuristic $10,000,000 lawn landscape business, and they were saying that
Okay. Yeah.
they stopped having, because they said they would have at any given time a couple $100,000 in receivables out there, money that they're waiting to get paid.
Yeah.
And they said, screw
Yeah.
all that this year. We don't care what happens. We're putting everybody's credit card on file, and
Yeah.
everybody has to bill. They're going to get billed
Yeah.
online, and we're going to collect their credit card on file and bill them when the job's
Yeah.
done. They're going to sign a credit card authorization form to make sure they get paid quickly. So even if
Correct.
you got lawn care and it's $50 a cut, and you get 10 cuts out there, that's $500 that you're owed. So bump, bump, bump,
Yeah.
bump, bump. I went to a conference recently, lawn and landscape conference. It was like, raise your hands in the room if anybody is owed money by a lot of customers to the point where it's
Yeah.
stressing you out. And like over half the hands in the room went up. It's because they weren't collecting the money fast enough. So yeah.
Well, that's a good question for you, Keith. So the biggest hurdle that we face at jobbers when you're doing credit cards is that it does come with a processing fee. 2.9% per credit card transaction, and everyone says I don't want to pay that fee. But what would you say to people who are on the fence? I mean, getting paid faster is more important, or at least getting paid at all, I think, is more important. But what's your thoughts on that?
What I do is I split the fee with the customer. I say, hey, if you
Okay.
want to pay with credit card, because we still accept checks, very
Sure.
little cash now. If I know it's like it should be a policy for me, but it's not. But with the processing fee, when it's a certain amount, I say I'll split the fee with you, and I'll
Yeah.
just do the math, and it'll be like $56 or $16.50 or whatever it is. And then other times I just eat it. And now I'm thinking I'll make more profit if I just put that into a policy. What's your answer?
For me, a lot of times is a lot of my customers aren't increasing their prices year over year. So that's always the first part. Is my question is, when was the last time you increased your prices, and are you accounting for the cost of business of adding a credit card? So, I charge everybody $50. Have you been charging everybody $50 for a cut for the last 10 years? Because then you should be increasing that. I mean,
Oh, you
inflation.
just build it.
Build
So
it
you
right
go
in.
all credit cards and then just build it right into the price. So you don't have
Correct.
to have that extra conversation. Wow, I
Exactly.
did that with mulch and materials and picking up and delivery fees. I just build it all right into the cost. If they want, I put in bigger landscape jobs, I put really specific line items so
Yeah.
they know every penny of where all their money is going. And You just build it right into the cost.
Absolutely. That's it. I mean, yeah, as long as you're taking home what you need to take home for your profit margins, yeah, just kind of build it into the cost. I mean, it's $3 for every $100 kind of is the quick math that you can do. So every $100 that you increase, just add another $3 or something on there. So as long as you're taking home what you need to take home, and your customers are pretty okay with price increases. I see all the time that, like, yeah, I increased my prices and I did not lose. I lost maybe 2 customers out of the hundreds that I have. So it is, yeah, just kind of keep moving forward that way.
Nice.
So here's the last step. So I'll actually just show you what it's like to create the invoice. So this is kind of the final thing. You can do this through the mobile app or through the web browser here. And this is just you sending it out. If you have a credit card on file, you will be able to just collect the payment. But otherwise, you're just going to send this through text or email, or if you're in person, just collect the payment right there. But there is one brand new addition to Jobber that I really want to touch on here today, is ask a client for a review. Now, Jobber has had job follow-ups for a while, where we can say, hey, it'd be nice if you left a review on Google for us. We have now integrated your Google Home Service business with Jobber. So when you send your invoice out, it is always going to ask them for a review as well. You guys do great work. Your customers should be telling everybody about it. And getting more reviews is going to help you increase your presence online. So if I am Googling you for that first impression, you're going to be closer to the top of the list, and you're going to have a higher number of reviews as well. So we're going to make sure we send out that review ask as well. Because here's what's going to show up. Internally, we have someone who is a Jobber employee, but also a home service business owner as well. He went from 12 reviews on Google. He turned on our reviews and was up to 65 within about 2 weeks. So that's a huge jump, and that is your presence getting out there. If you are worried about a bad review, you can turn it off. Don't worry. Sometimes jobs go haywire, and you maybe don't want that one individual to do it, but so you do have control of this. But for the most part, ask everybody for a review. They're going to do it. It's nice and easy. It's simple for that customer. Like I said, Jobber is easy, and the name of the game is less friction. Your customers get a quick and easy way to leave you a review. And that's, like I said, just going to help you grow the business by increasing your presence.
Think about this. If you just get, minimum 1, but like 5 new positive reviews per month. Okay.
Yeah.
That puts you up Google search, which is the search engine ranking page. Eventually, if you get enough and you have enough positive SEO with, I'm not going to get too deep into the SEO nerdy stuff, but basically, if you get in the Google 3-pack organically, aside from, I'm not talking about spending money on ads, and then more people are seeing you and they're calling you. Let's just say you have 3, 4, or 5 Google reviews right now in your Google Maps, and then you use Jobber, and here, listen to this, and it happens automatically. Just ask them for reviews. Okay,
Absolutely.
let's just say you quit paying attention. You're so busy running your business, but in the background, it's asking each customer for a review, and you get 7 more positive reviews over the next 2 months. So your 3 reviews turns into 10. A customer reads that and they call you, and you close a $3,500 or a $10,000 landscape job, or maybe like 8 new lawn customers in the spring. And then that translates into, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in your bank account. Bloop.
Yeah.
For something to happen automatically. That just literally paid for Jobber itself. I'm thinking exponentially now. I'm so excited about how with software and AI and this futuristic ways that you can take a business model and now do this with, because our mind goes, no, I don't want to spend the money. I could just do that myself. Are you really going to do it yourself every single time? Because what happens when you make plans is life. So, dude, I'm excited.
I want to automate it. That's the whole thing. I want to take all the parts that are so important but tedious about running a business sometimes and automate it. That way you're going to get the benefits without having to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, it just let it happen for you. And just let your business grow as you're out there doing the great work. So I love reviews. I think everybody should have reviews. It's, that's really, your customers exist online, and these reviews are online. So number one thing, I would encourage everybody to get that on. Now, as we're collecting all those customers, Jobber also wants you to be able to re-engage past customers or re-engage current customers, try to upsell them before the end of the season. So we do have a campaign system right now. Some people might be familiar with MailChimp and things like that, but this is a similar system within Jobber. So you can re-engage past clients. So anybody who hasn't had a job in the last 12 months or whatever it is, you'll be able to take that client list that you already have, that you've already done the work, you've already paid the cost of acquisition, you've got the good reviews, go back to them, see if they need more work done. Keith told us a little earlier that he got more work out of an invoice reminder. Let us do that, but in a different way, so they're not mad about, hey, I thought I paid this bill. Let you just re-engage those customers. They're really nice, beautiful campaigns that you can create here. And you can set the parameters. So you have a way of tagging your customers and do like, these are my snow removal customers that I have in the winter. Time to start engaging them probably in September, October, create a campaign through Jobber and start re-engaging those customers. So yeah.
The best way that you can make money, I do coaching on Mondays, helping people get their businesses started. I'm coaching someone right now. How can I say this? Basically, the best way to get more work and get more customers and generate a customer lead generation, a referral system, is to go to customers that you don't have the lowest amount of CAC or no CAC. Customer acquisition cost is 0. If you've already paid the time, energy, and money to acquire that customer in the past, and you've already done work for them, you want to build your list or pull out your list of every customer you've ever done work for ever, filter out maybe the ones that you don't want, get them off the list, or segment the list. This could take you 3-4 hours max. It could take you as small as a half an hour. And what you're saying right here with Jobber, you can re-engage old customers and send them offers. Hey, do you want that thing done again? Do you want a spring cleanup, a fall cleanup? Do you want your window cleaned? Do you want your landscaping? Off sending one of these things. It could literally, we do email marketing. One email has closed me, I don't know, we've closed $18,000 in work, and it just booked us out for 6-7 weeks extra on top of all the phone calls that were already coming in. Getting work is so easy. Marketing is so easy. It's not only easy, it's fun. It's like this little lever that you can pull. And this right here is saying that this is like, bro,
it's perfect. And we'll give you we'll give you the insights on this too. So you're talking about the ROIs and the performance of these campaigns. You can see on my report here, I've got open rate, click rates, and then the revenue that's come in through these emails too. So you'll know exactly the right type of marketing campaign. You can tweak it to get more people in for next season or whatever it may be. And yeah, so that's a really great way to re-engage those customers. I will say you mentioned the referrals. We do have a refer a friend option in the client hub. So if you are doing really great work, let's say you go and do some landscaping for someone and their friends come over for a barbecue and they're like, man, who did this work? I got to get my yard done. They can refer their friends to you nice and easily through that request system. And if you want to run sort of, hey, I'll give you X dollars or % off for any kind of referrals that you get, and then tell that customer who referred them, I'll give you so much off the next job you hiring me for. So you can just keep building that referral network with your customers too.
I'm saying this could make you so much extra profit. This right here alone could afford to hire you that office manager, even if it's part-time. So you could just focus on crushing it out in the field and leading your crew, and just like the head of a spear, just boom, 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 knocking out jobs, paying attention to quality. And then your office manager can have the system set up where they have phenomenal customer service. They take care of every customer. They ask for the review, the referral, incentivize all these things. And now you could just have an office manager. Like, you remember the cartoon Inspector Gadget?
Yeah,
the Claude Inspector Gadget, and there's screens all over the place.
Yeah. That's
bro. Or you can get out of the field, which is not too fun. I did that, and I thought that'd be the answer. Actually, I didn't like it. I like to go be the one swinging the axe, and but no.
Excellent, man. All right, guys. So that's kind of everything I wanted to show today here, Keith. So hopefully, when I started this call, it was, hey, running your home service business can be hard. Hopefully you've seen today how easy Jobber can make it. We're going to help you run your operation more smoothly from start to finish. That's acquiring the customers, winning the customer, scheduling the work, and of course, getting paid faster right at the end. And then grow your business through the reviews and the campaigns. Jobber's going to help you with every step of the way. We're here to help your home service business be successful. And if you're curious about it more, Keith has posted his link a couple of times. We've got some great promos happening through Keith. You get a special little discount. And but other than that, just come talk to one of my product experts. We love talking to home owners every day, all day long. So we kind of know what we're talking about a little bit. But I appreciate everybody listening. Thanks, Keith, man. This was fun.
Bro, Ethan, thank you. Are you going to be at Equip Expo in Kentucky again?
Yeah, I think I'm going to convince Megan to let me go. I had a lot of fun last year and the year before. Last year was really great. We had the booth and everything, and everybody got to come by. And I don't know if you remember, Keith, my TV broke as we were doing your session. So this year, I'm going to make sure it doesn't break. But come on by, come say hi. We'll have a great team there. And
Oh,
we'll
didn't
just
you
love.
have to have the TV stop working so you had people huddle around the
Yeah,
laptop, right?
yeah. So I just tried. I had
But
to
that was
improv.
perfect because it made it more like a fireside type chat thing, bro.
Yeah, it was good. Everyone was excited to talk to you. They're like, "When's this guy going to stop talking?" But we did it. We did it well.
You crushed it, bro. Thank you, Ethan. I
Thanks, man.
so appreciate your time. You're an expert. You're so clear and concise. And thanks, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Keith. Well, hopefully we'll talk to everybody soon. Take care.
Much respect to you, and thanks everybody for joining. Go to getjobber.com/Kelfis to get the discount, and we'll see you soon. And keep crushing it.